So here again, they say which the diagram below is represented by two functions, which is f of x and q of x. Okay? So what is f of x? F of x is is a sine x plus q. Okay? And then we have g of x, which is represented by b cos x. Okay? And they say you should determine what is going to be the equation of f and g. Okay? And then we can start with a. We can start with g of x. Okay? Now, if we start with g of x, by now you already know. How did we approach g of x? We said we can use this point here. What is this point? This point here, it's 3, it's 0, which goes with 3. So if you use that point, you're going to say which you have 3, which is going to be equaling to b again. And then you have the cos of 0 again. And then if you say this, it says which b is going to be given as what? As 3 again. Meaning which g of x is going to be defined as 3 the cos of x. Okay, then we said we're going to give you a mark for this one. Okay? Now let's go to f of x then. How do you get f of x then? F of x, again, you have many points that you can use for f of x. You just check the points that are at f of x. So you have 2 and 0. Okay? You have 90 and this one again. And then you have this one and this one. So you can take any of the points here. You can just take any of them. So we are going to start by taking 2 and 0. So we have 0, which goes with 2 again. So if we take 2, which goes with 0, what are we going to have? We're going to have something like this. It says which you have 2 again, which is going to be equaling to a again, which is going to be the sine of 0 again. What is going to be the sine of 0 plus q? Again, what is going to be the sine of 0? If you say sine of 0 is going to give you what? It gives you 0, meaning which our q is going to be equaling to what? To 2. It's fine again. Now, after getting which what is q, then we'll go and say which, okay, but now the equation now it looks a little bit better. It means which now you can say which you have f of x, which is going to be equivalent to a, the sine of x plus 2. Now you can choose any other point. Actually, if you already used this one here, you can't go back to that one. Let's use another one. So if we use 90, for example, according to 90, what are you going to say? You're going to tell them which y is 0 again. If y is 0, then you're going to have a multiplied by the sine of 90 again, plus 2. Take this 2 to this other side, it says which you're going to have minus 2 again. And then if you say sine of 90, what do you get? How are lying? Sine of 90. It says which a is going to be equaling to, so you're going to have 1 again. And then therefore, what does this mean? It means which you are going to say our a is going to be equaling to what? Minus 2. Therefore, what is going to be the equation then? The equation of f of x is going to be given as minus 2 again, multiplied by the sine of x plus 2. Then we'll give you 1, 2, 3, and then you get your 4 marks there. On number B, they said which we should write the maximum and the minimum values of f and g again. Now, what are going to be the maximum value and the minimum value? We spoke about it. We said, okay, number B. Here, maximum value, let's start with g. If we go with g of x, what is the biggest value that we can have? We can say to them the mean, it's minus 3 again. And then the max, it's 3. And then f of x, the mean, it's 0. And then the max,
it's positive 4.
It's positive 4. And then you'll get 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to the next question. The next question says write down the amplitude. Okay? Amplitude is always positive, guys. Amplitude is always going to be positive. So if they want to know which one is going to be amplitude, that's number C. Now, how do you get your amplitude? Your amplitude, you get it by saying which is top minus bottom, and then you divide by 2. And then you look at the y values only. You concentrate on the y values. So we are going to say the maximum. In other words, for you to get the amplitude, amplitude is going to be equaling to max minus mean divided by 2. Again, they say which we should determine the amplitude of f and g again. So if we start with g, let's say which we are doing it for g. What are we going to have? We have the maximum value. What is the maximum value? It's 3 again. Minus open bracket. What is the minimum value? Minus 3 again.
Minus 3.
Divided by 2.
Yes.
Okay? And then if you say this in your
Yes.
calculator, it gives you what? 3.
3, positive 3.
Yeah, so the
Yes.
amplitude of G is going to be 3. Okay, let's go to the amplitude of
Yes.
F. What is going to be the amplitude of F again?
It's 4.
Again, you're going to do exactly the same thing. You're going to say max minus mini divided by 2 again. What is the maximum value for this one?
Yes.
It's 4 minus minimum
4.
divided by 2 again.
0.
And then what is going to be amplitude?
Yes.
It's 2.
2.
And then you get another mark here. Okay. They say which determine the values of F of 180 minus G of 180. What do they mean by this, guys? They say which tell us which what is agree here we are at x is equal to 180. When x is equal to 180, when x is equal to 180, we want to know which what is going to be y. So when in other words, they said do it graphically. You will come and say, okay, let's come here and then tell them which we have here. Agree we have 108. 180 goes with what? 180 goes with what here?
With positive.
With positive 2.
2.
Okay, here.
Yes.
180 goes with what?
Negative.
180 goes with what? With
Negative
-3 again. Now, if they want, they say to you, determine the
Yes.
value of this one. Agree, you are going to say, this one is f of x again. This one is g of x. This 180
Yes.
and 180 is fine. They're still going to give you 0. We don't have to worry about them again. So what is going to be f of 108?
Yes.
F of 180, it's 2. Okay. Minus.
Yes. Yes.
What is g of 108? When x is 108, what do you have there? -3. What is going to be the answer of this
Minus
one?
3.
It's 5. So basically, it's like they wanted the length. Can you see that one? It's like they were talking about the length. Is it 5?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. They're asking Gucci when x is 180, where is y? When x is 180, where is y? Okay, now we are starting to interpret the graph then. Determine graphically the values of x for which f of x is less than 0. Less than 0, they mean which is below the x-axis. Okay? So what you want to do here, when you want to do the following, you want to go to your graphs. On your graphs, you will use different colors for above the x-axis and below the x-axis. So let's start with G.
Yes.
Agree G here, you'll say G is positive, 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 up until it gets here. So I'm going to start to use another color here. After that, G starts to be what? Negative, 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 negative. Okay. What is it that when they're asking here? They're asking what we want G of x to be below the x-axis. Agree? Less than 0. Are we talking about above the x-axis or below the x-axis? Below.
Below.
Now, below the x-axis, we can come and highlight it. Below the x-axis, kid is part. Okay?
Yes.
Agree? Below the x-axis is here. What are the x values they're here?
Yes.
What are the x values that are making this to be possible? Is 9 up until you get to what? To 270. Okay, we are going to get 2 marks for that. So here we'll come and say, okay, for this one here, x is going to be an element between 90 up until we get to what? To 270.
7.
If we don't want to write it this way, we can say which we can simply put 90 here and then put x in the middle. Like, and then we come and say which here you are going to have what? 270. Does it make sense, Margaret? I think they're asking which one is it going to appear below the x-axis. Below the x-axis is that part there. Okay. Let's go to the next question. What does the next question ask? It's asking which when is f of x going to be above g of x? Okay? F of x is above, g of x is what is below. Okay? Go to your graph then. F of x is above, g of x is below. F of x is above, g of x is below.